Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Eve McGargle from Voice Colors. I'm a communications specialist in the field of autism and the parent of a 35-year-old son named Billy with autism. Today, I'd like to talk about some comments that RFK, the Secretary of Human Health and Services, has made regarding autism. So we're going to look at a video and then I'll share with you some of my thoughts.
This is an individual tragedy as well. Autism destroys families. More importantly, it destroys our greatest resource, which are our children. These are children who should not be suffering like this. These are kids who, many of them were fully functional and regressed because of some environmental exposure into autism when they're 2 years old. And these are kids who will never pay taxes, they'll never hold a job, they'll never play baseball, they'll never write a poem, they'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. And we have to recognize we are doing this to our children, and we need to put an end to it.
So when I heard these comments about autistic people and that it's a tragedy, that it destroys families, that their lives are about only deprivations, and I felt a chill go up my spine. I felt that we'd gone back to darker times, to a time of prejudice and ignorance, and a time when even I felt back in the early 90s where I needed to speak as little about autism as possible in order to protect my son's humanity. So it's very shocking to me on some level, but also I've experienced this firsthand as a parent and also within our family context. I really feel like the Secretary of Health of Human Services comments are based upon ignorance and prejudice. So this notion that autism destroys families is really just blatantly not true. I would argue that for many families, that autism has brought an element of compassion and empathy and greater understanding of the complexity of human beings and the patience it requires to love your neighbor as yourself in a way that is not destructive, it's uplifting, it's building, it's elevating. So I would challenge him on the fact that he says such a thing as that it destroys families. I know that RFK is trying to, in his words, stop the suffering of individuals with autism. And I know that he thinks that the answer is to find the cause, the root cause, and to resolve it and basically eliminate autism as part of the human situation. But one part of me understands the need to address the suffering that people have who are also autistic, but he's really on this is a tightrope. He should tread carefully because on the other hand, there are so many wonderful lives of autistic people that I have known and continue to know, and to make it such that the way that you talk about it is it's as if their lives are not worth living is really damning. And I just can't see, I just don't even feel that Robert Kennedy understands what neurodiversity is. He doesn't understand anything about it, and he simply wants everyone to be a certain way. And I just think that that is a world that we do not live in. And I think he needs to accept that reality and affirm that reality and see the value in neurodiversity. Neurodiversity is a wonderful thing. And I celebrate my son's life. I don't mourn his life. I know he has challenges, but we all have challenges. And his challenges may be more significant, but he also has a very rich life, a very complex life. He has so many relationships and connections. He's not, I feel like the Secretary of Health and Human Services is basically categorizing all individuals with autism as defective. And when I think of the words like that, I think about times when folks like Billy were warehoused, institutionalized. And we just can't go back to that time. And I think he really did people with autism and their families. In his efforts to help, he actually did us a great disservice. I think that RFK's comments over the last couple of months have probably generated a lot of conversations in families among individuals who are autistic. And I'd love to hear from any and all of you about what you're thinking about, how his comments strike you, what's concerning you, what specifically has he said that you would like to share. So please feel free to comment below, and look forward to having further discussions about this. Thanks.